Hello and welcome to Modern Foreign Languages at Romarsh Community School. Us in the department are so excited to welcome you in September. We're really looking forward to having some new fresh faces with us, and we hope that you enjoy languages as much as we do as teachers. First of all, I'd just like to introduce you to the team. So I am Mrs. Dodds. I'm Head of Languages at Romarsh Community School and I teach French and Spanish. We also have Mr. Elson. Mr. Elson teaches French and German. Mr. Bartle, who you'll all know as your head of year, he also teaches French and Spanish. Miss Wiggett, she is also French and Spanish. And Mr. Flynn, he will be joining us in September and he will teach French and German. Now, what does Year 7 French look like? Although we all teach different languages, in Year 7 everyone will learn French, and then later on in the school years you'll be given the opportunity to choose extra languages as well, being Spanish or German if you wish to do them. So, Year 7 French. In the first half term we'll be talking about yourself and learning some of the basics of languages. So some basic introductions, how to say hello, goodbye to people, how to say what your name is, some classroom instructions, and then we start to build on that into half term 2, where you learn how to describe yourself. So talking about your family, your pets, what you look like, your likes and your dislikes, and extending that further to then be able to talk about other people. In half term 3 and 4, we talk about sports, hobbies, and what you like to do in your free time. And then for half term 5 and 6, we talk about places in the town. So to see whether you can describe your own town. We then start to look at other French towns and cities, so you kind of learn a little bit about France as a country. And then talk about activities that you can do in towns and how to arrange an event with other people. One of the most important things that I think I do as part of my role at Romarsh is to introduce you to the culture. Not everyone's in a position, and especially in the current climate that we're in, we can't go on holiday and we can't go and experiment and learn with new cultures. So we try to bring as much of that to you at Romarsh as we can. Here are just a few pictures of some of the trips that we've run as a department before, or events that we've done in school. So you can see in the top left-hand corner, we've taken students to a Spanish tapas restaurant. Students were in the lessons before given lessons on how to order food in Spanish. We then went to the restaurant. All students from the waiter ordered their food completely in Spanish. We then at the end got to sample all the different tapas and have a great time. We have the European Day of Languages, so students get to learn and experiment with all languages from across Europe, sample foods from different cultures and play games. Every year we've run a trip to Amiens. We go and visit the Christmas markets there. We go to the aquarium, we take you to a boulangerie, French bakers, where students get to try out making baguette and croissant. Recently as well, we've just introduced a new trip to a French restaurant. Similar to the Spanish one, students order their crepe, their pancakes in French, and then we get to sample savoury and sweet pancakes, which coincide with the French national holiday of La Chandeleur. So let's take a quick look at what a French activity might look like in one of your language lessons. Now this is an activity that I've done with my Year 7 students before, and it's just a little 10-minute section to see how, to give you a taster basically. So you can see on the screen I've got a list of colours, les couleurs. There's about 7 or 8 of them on there. We have bleu, rouge, noir, orange, multicolore, vert, marron, and rose. Are there any colours on that list that you think that you could work out? What do you think they might mean in English? Have you done any French before and do you know them already? Or are there any that look very similar to English and you might be able to work out what they are without me telling you? I'd just like you to pause the video and with whoever sat closest to you, just have a little chat and see how many of them you can work out before I give you the answers. Off you go. Pause the video. Okay, so how many did you manage to work out? I've put the English at the side for you. So you can see that bleu is blue, rouge is red, noir, black, orange, no prizes for guessing that is orange, multicolore, multicolored, vert, green, marron, brown, and rose, pink. Some of them look similar to English, don't they? So bleu is only 2 letters different to blue. Orange is spelt exactly the same as the word orange. We just say it with a French accent. Multicolore, again, is written very similarly to multicolored. And rose, a lot of roses are pink. So that's a little clue for us. Okay, what I'm going to do now is show you a video of a French story. The story is called Le loup qui voulait changer de couleur. I'm not going to tell you what that title means, because I'm going to ask you later on, once you've watched the video, what you think the story might be called and what it was about. What I will tell you is Le loup is the wolf. You can see here, this is the wolf just here. Now, what I would like you to do when you watch the video is, with the list of colours that's down the left-hand side, I would like you to just pause the video just now and scribble down on a piece of paper the colours that are written down. Then, when I start playing the video, I want you to see if you can put those colours in the order that they appear on the video. Now, as I said, this is a French video of a French story with a French person reading it. Don't panic. Don't worry that the French is quite fast, because that's how fast French people speak. And I suppose I'm speaking quite fast now in English. It's just that we understand what I'm saying. Now, part of learning languages is learning how to work out the meaning of things. And by doing that, we look for little clues. So you might see some clues on the screen. First of all, you're going to listen for those colours. Forget about everything else. Just focus on those colours, and it helps if we're looking at the words as we're listening. Look on the screen. Are any of those words written down in the text that appears on the story? And lastly, pictures. They could be a big clue too. Okay, so I'm going to start playing the video now. Don't forget to pause the video before so you can write down the colours. Okay, let's go.
Il était une fois un gros loup noir qui n'aimait pas sa couleur. Il trouvait le noir trop triste. Lundi, le loup essaya le vert. Il plongea sa patte dans un pot de peinture verte et s'en barbouilla le corps. Quand il fut bien sec, il regarda dans son miroir et s'exclama: « Quelle horreur! On dirait une grosse grenouille! Ça ne va pas du tout! » Mardi, le loup enfila le pull de laine rouge que lui avait tricoté sa grand-mère, ainsi qu'une paire de bas écarlates. Quand il fut tout rouge, il se regarda dans son miroir et s'exclama: « Nom d'un petit cochon, maintenant on dirait le Père Noël. Moi qui déteste Noël, cela ne va pas du tout. » Mercredi, le loup se faufila chez le fermier et cueillit toutes les roses de son jardin. Puis il se couvrit le corps de pétales de fleurs. Quand il fut tout rose, il se regarda dans son miroir et s'exclama: « Berk, voilà que je ressemble à une princesse. Cela ne va pas du tout. » Jeudi, le loup se plongea dans un bain bien classique. Il eut si froid qu'il ressortit de la baignoire tout bleu. En claquant des dents, il se regarda dans son miroir et s'exclama « Le bleu me donne très très mauvaise mimine. Cela ne va pas du tout. » Vendredi, le loup mangea un panier d'oranges entier, puis il se colla soigneusement les écorces sur tout le corps. Quand il eut terminé, il se regarda dans son miroir et s'exclama « Quelle horreur! De près, on dirait une carotte géante, et de loin, je ressemble à un renard. Ah, cela ne va pas du tout. » Samedi, le loup se roula dans une mare de boue. Quand il fut tout marron, il se regarda dans son miroir et soupira. « Oh là là, maintenant je ne ressemble plus à rien. Et puis, cela me gratte et je sens mauvais. Ah, cela ne va pas du tout. » Dimanche, le loup alla à la chasse aux paons. Il en trouva un qui dormait tranquillement et le dépluma. Quand il fut paré des plumes du paon, il se regarda dans son miroir et s'exclama « Oh, comme je suis beau cette fois !» Mais c'était aussi la vie de toutes les louves des environs. Toute la journée, elles lui tournaient autour en murmurant à ses oreilles « Oh, comme tu es beau, mon loup !» Le pauvre loup multicolore n'était jamais tranquille. Un soir, à bout de nerfs, le loup se regarda dans son miroir et dit « Cela ne va pas du tout. Je ne veux plus être ni vert, ni rouge, ni rose, ni bleu, ni orange, ni marron, ni multicolore. Finalement, je suis très bien en loup. »
Okay, so let's see whether you managed to get the colours in the correct order. Did you find that scanning on the screen helped because you might have seen some of the words? And maybe did the colours help you as well, the colours that you could see in the pictures? So the colours in the correct order were noir, vert, rouge, rose, bleu, orange, marron, and multicolor. Now, one of the final questions. The story, I said at the beginning, was called Le loup qui voulait changer de couleur. Can anybody take a guess at what you think the story is called? I told you le loup means the wolf. And the rest, qui voulait changer, that's quite a key word, de couleur. Have a little chat with the people around you. What do you think the story is called? Now, the story is called The Wolf That Wants to Change Colour. The wolf that would like to change colour. One of the main clues for that is looking at these words here. Changer looks a bit like change, and couleur obviously looks like colour. Now, did anybody kind of get a guess of what the story was about? What happened in the story? Now, at the start, the wolf doesn't want to be black. I'll go back to these colours. He doesn't want to be black, so that's the first colour that we see. He changes his colour and he paints himself green. But then he decides that that's no good. He looks like a frog. He changes himself to red, but he doesn't like that either because he looks like Father Christmas. He then gets loads of petals from roses, but then decides that he looks like a princess. He plunges himself into a bath of freezing cold water and he turns blue. He doesn't like that either. He then changes himself orange, but he decides that's no good because he looks like a fox, not like a wolf. He goes for a swim in a sea of muddy water and he turns brown. He doesn't like that either. Finally, he takes all the feathers from a peacock and becomes multicoloured. And he doesn't like that either. He then goes through all the colours and says, well, black was no good, and neither was green, and neither was red, and so on. So in the end, he decides that he was happy just the way he was at Black. Now, before you come to Romarsh, if you would like, if you have a little bit of time, there's a couple of things that you could do to try and help you and to try and tune your ear in or give you a little bit of a head start before you come. One thing that I recommend is downloading the Duolingo app or just going on your desktop and using it online. Have a look and see if you can, before you start, teach yourself some of the greetings. Can you learn hello, goodbye, and my name is before you start with this? Perhaps you might even have time to learn numbers 1 to 10 or 1 to 20. If you manage to do that, send me an email. My email address is kdodds@romarsh.org. Okay? CFPs will be sent out for any of you that start looking and learning any French before you start with us. Lastly, look after yourselves, stay safe, and we really look forward to seeing you in September. Goodbye.